Charlie, thank you so much for joining me today to spend a little bit of time to get to know about you and really talk about Oslo Sleep, which is so exciting. The campaign is underway. Amazing success thus far. I've been a backer originally from the days of the Bose Sleepbuds and started a Facebook group. And so I know there's a lot of questions that people have about the new and exciting Ozlo Sleepbuds. So thank you so much for joining me and going through several questions.
No, thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Yes, great, great. So why don't you just share a little bit about your background, anything you're comfortable to share as far as how everything came about?
Sure. I'm Charlie Taylor. I'm one of the co-founders of Oslo or Oslo Sleep, the new maker of the Sleepbuds. I previously worked at Bose and spent about 4 years there across various roles from innovation to product, and left almost 2 years ago, and had the opportunity to go into the sleep space and build a product that our team really loved and see it taken to the next generation.
That's great. Nice. So, as far as Oslo Sleep Buds, how do they differ from the Bose Sleep Buds? Because I know people are excited about some of the new changes, but maybe you can fill in for those that are not familiar what's coming.
Sure. So, as one of my main roles as chief product officer is figuring out what are we building and what will it do. And I think we're excited with our key improvements to the Sleep Buds. The first being streaming. This is something that I think everyone wants when they go to bed. Maybe not everyone, but most people. You have a
Yeah.
content that you love, and so being able to stream that and stream it reliably has been very important to us. We also added new sensing capabilities, both in the buds as well as this fun little case, as you can see here. And that allows us to monitor your movement and your respiratory rate, at least while you're laying down and in kind of traditional sleep situations, as well as monitor your environment from the case. And so something that we felt really important is to understand more than just your body, but your environment. Maybe you didn't sleep because the lights were on, or it was too hot, or there was noise around there, and not just you didn't sleep. And now our case actually allows us to monitor that. And then the third
Hmm.
is improving the battery. We wanted to make sure that the battery could not only support this new functionality, but was reliable and could last over time.
And talking about the battery, that is a big comment that people have had over the years because the challenge is with the previous versions, anything you can kind of share about what people should expect. I know it's going to be a different type of battery, which I'm excited to hear about, but maybe you could share a little bit about the new improvements that people should expect with the battery.
Sure. I think it's important to note that when we started this, the first thing we did was figure out the power situation.
Yeah.
When we go and start adding new features, particularly features that are meant to, last all night, it's very important that the product lasts, not just the first time you use it, but the second, the third, the 100th time you use it, and that we're pretty consistent in the ability to charge, the ability to see how much it's charged, and understanding how much it's used. And so when we started, we really started the process designing around that battery, and spent a lot of time trying to find the perfect battery for the use case. The long and short is that we are using a battery that is very commonly used in hearing aids. It's a lithium-ion battery from one of the best battery manufacturers in the world, really focused on medical applications. So this is
Hmm.
something that you see typically across the medical field, which gave us a lot more comfort on the reliability, and making sure that we could hit all those numbers.
That's great because I know that's been a big importance to so many people. And so I think that's great that there are going to be lithium ion batteries and to make it a better experience for everybody, which will only make people more excited about the product. As far as battery life, somebody had asked about the free phone mode
Sure.
and what the battery life would be there, as well as how many nights would it also carry a charge for the Sleepbuds case.
Yeah, so a couple questions there. First, in phone free mode or phone mode, we're targeting 10 hours plus of audio. So we say up to 10 hours, and that is our goal that you will have audio all night. That's kind of regardless of the mode that you're in. There's some broader questions on how we're doing phone free mode, and we've answered that. You could find it in some of our forums right now or on the Kickstarter if folks are interested in the FAQ of exactly what our phone free mode does. Very traditional, I think, what people understand with a phone free mode, with the added benefit that we do actually have a real-time clock that sits in the case, which gives us, not always, but generally, a better ability to set an alarm to wake people up without their phone. In terms of the case has a pretty big battery. We not only changed the batteries in the case, or in the buds, sorry, but the case as well, because this case is no longer just a charging case. And so because the case is actually actively monitoring the environment as well as doing a pretty good amount of processing and understanding where you are in your sleep stage, we made sure to juice up that battery. That being said, in the case, we're expecting up to 4 full charges in the case. It can go more and less depending on how you're using it. Obviously, the case is part of the hub for streaming.
Yeah.
And so you can extend it, and we're adding a whole bunch of software improvements as well. So you not only know you have those charges, but can know what the energy usage is and hopefully create energy saving modes as well.
Great. And you just mentioned about upgrades. So as new upgrades come out, just like the previous version, you'll be able to do that through the app, and it will update that through into the case and into the buds.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are, and we've talked about this pretty publicly. We're not trying to build all of our fun features behind a firewall that you get to pay us more monthly after blessing us with so much of your money for better sleep. So all these improvements from battery life to new modes, these will be released in real time, really like a traditional software company. We're working on making that process as smooth as possible. I think as users of many hardware products know, it can be a bit of a challenge to update hardware, but we're working to really make sure that that is an efficient and smooth process. And as folks have feedback, whether it's 1 month after launch, 6 months, a year, we are always constantly looking on where to improve it from the app. And so your app is that hub to get all those updates, even if you want to use another streaming app to actually listen to your content at night.
That's great. I know one of the questions I've had people often ask is, with these, will these be noise canceling? As people have those, they use them on a plane. Anything you can address regarding why they won't be noise canceling?
Yeah, I think at a really high level, we call them sleep buds and they're earbuds, but they're really digital earplugs, right? It's a digital earplug that is a sleep aid. And when you look at the use case, one of the things we're trying to do when someone is sleeping is to minimize the disturbances. And so generally speaking, when you're asleep in your home, those disturbances come in sharp amounts, or it's someone snoring, they're low frequencies. They tend to be a little harder to totally cancel. You can remove a whole lot of them, but you could imagine if you're in a very quiet environment, even the smallest disturbance can wake you up. And so what we found through our research is that creating noise masking, and so where you match those frequencies and create a noise floor that covers up those soft noises, is much more effective in helping someone sleep, and that they don't hear those disturbances through the night. And so we stayed true to that. And so you get this passive effect if you have the right size with a really good seal in your ear, and they're able to mask that audio, which is able to cover up any of those noises, which we just found more effective to help people sleep.
Yeah, interesting. Talking about sleeping and sound, one of the things when the original version of the Sleep Buds came out, they were good. The second version, sound got louder, better. What can we expect as far as sound and volume with the first versions of the Ozlo Sleepbuds compared to the twos?
Sure. So the acoustic package is very similar to what you're going to know. There's obviously a higher band because we are now streaming, and so it's a bit more full of what you can listen to. This is not an audiophile's everything in their sleep bud. It has really been designed, and the audio has been designed for sleep. In terms of volume, it's still at a volume that is considered okay to listen to for these extended periods of time, right? So it's a little softer than a regular headphone, but when you have the combined of the earplug and the audio, it should cover up really any environment that you're in.
Great. I have a case that I had bought for traveling that I could put my plug and travel and everything. Is the case going to be the same size? So if people have a traveling case that they put it in, will they be able to use the Ozlo Sleepbuds case, or is it a little bigger or smaller? Or
Sure. So the weight of the case is slightly higher. I think, as we mentioned, we've added a couple more things, a lot more sensors, a lot more batteries, but the aluminum, and you could ignore the colors on an early prototype as I hide it, is roughly the same size.
Okay.
Minus some new sensors and a bunch of holes in there. It should fit however someone was using a previous product. The dimensions are roughly the same.
Great. And will you be offering any sort of additional casing, for traveling, so people can put their, plugs and the adapter or whatever else it's going to come with? I assume it's just going to come with a Type-C cable. Is that how it will come, or what should you expect as far as for plugging?
Yeah, so see, you're gonna get it in a nice branded box. That's
Yep.
it.
Yep.
In there, you'll have all four tips: extra small, small, medium, and large, as well as a 3 foot long C cable, which you can use from any powered source. So if you want to use a
Hmm.
longer cable, that's fine. We're not going to initially sell any travel bags or have them. There are certainly folks online who are, but I
Yeah.
know it certainly isn't something we are against in the future.
Great. Anything else that you want to share while we're here today? I know a lot of people are going to have any questions. I guess as you and I spoke, it sounds like for people that do want to ask you questions, especially anything we didn't cover today, Kickstarter is a great way to go because you can get a response, so people can just go to the frequent asked questions, send you a message without backing the campaign, and you can respond. Anything else that you would suggest as far as for people who have questions?
No, I think that's probably the best place. Our team has been monitoring the Kickstarter, and we're super appreciative of everyone's support. It's gone even better than we could have expected. So if you have any comments or concerns, you can message our team directly on Kickstarter. You can comment. You could also go look through well over 100 comments, most of which have been answered. There's a fuller FAQ on all the things that we've talked about that you can certainly learn more about it, as well as watch the video and learn a bit more about the product.
Great. Well, Charlie, I really appreciate you joining me. If there are any other questions that I could think of and we need to do another video, we'll connect back. But I will put a link to the campaign so you could back it today and get these awesome sleep buds that are coming. And then also to the Facebook group as well, where we've got a nice community that is really excited and eager to get theirs for a good night's sleep.
Well, as always, we appreciate it. We appreciate everyone's support, and hopefully, we'll help people sleep much better than they ever have very soon.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for joining me and have a great day. And congrats to all the success thus far.
Thanks, Sid.
Thank you.